Hey YouTube world, I am back with another video. This is going to be a spicy follow-up conversation about Tanner Leatherstein. If you haven't seen the original video where I just have a discussion on somebody who has gone viral, and I am really happy for him for educating all of us in regards to all of the different leathers and really just being super brave and bold and ripping up all of these designer bags and telling you exactly what he thinks about them. It was quite interesting to hear everybody's perspectives. I know some of you are diehard fans, while others not so much. Again, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to bully or put down another content creator on this platform. But again, look at me, I'm nobody. So I don't think he even cares I exist. But I just want to have a conversation with the handbag community. Everybody has their own perspectives, and I'm trying to look at his product and his videos from a consumer standpoint, which again, I do make videos. However, I am always going to be a consumer first, somebody who actually uses handbags, right? If you've got opinions, go watch that original video and blow me up there. But today, the purpose of this video is to review the bag I purchased from his own brand called Pegai. So let's just get right into it. So the bag I purchased is called the Spring Hobo Crossbody in the Taba Brown. I used a secret identity and of course my own money to purchase this bag. I'll do a show and tell of this bag so that you can see up close all of the details of this particular purse. I'll list out all of the pros, all of the cons, again, from my perspective as a consumer first. Before I keep talking here, let me take off the plastic so you can actually see the bag. I'll also compare it to what it was trying to dupe, which is the Hermes TPM or Evelyn in the size 16. I borrowed this from my friend Mandy so that we can have a side-by-side comparison. When I received the bag, it showed up pretty quickly in a couple of days. I want to say less than a week, and it was an undescripted box. It didn't have any logos on there, which is fine, and it basically wasn't even wrapped in anything like tissue paper other than this plastic bag. Obviously the bag showed up fine, so that's just, again, just what to expect when you purchase from Pegai and Tanner's brand. And the interior was just stuffed with this tissue paper, and it also came with a strap. Now, obviously, this is going to be the dupe of the Evelyn, right? Which we know there are plenty of dupes out there, but I picked this one because I thought it was a very simple looking bag. It showcased what he's capable of, and honestly, this probably was the only bag that interests me the most. Other than on his website, he did have crocodile wallets, which are men's wallets, so obviously I'm not going to purchase that, but that was probably what I was most interested in. If he actually produced some card holders or something a little bit more slimmer profile, I would have gone for that instead, and it was a fantastic price for exotic leather. So this was what caught my eye, and I decided to purchase this one since I knew Mandy had a TPM or Evelyn 16 that I can actually do a side-by-side comparison with. Right off the bat, I can smell the leather coming from the bag, which I love the smell of leather. And you can see this is a smooth skin. The bag itself, like the sides and the piping of this, is extremely rigid. As you can see, I'm kind of squeezing it. So this is a very structured bag, and the interior will be leather lined as well, but it feels like it's a much softer leather than the outside. I'm assuming it's calfskin on the outside, and the interior, as I'm feeling it, it could be lambskin, it could be calfskin, I have no idea. Looking at his website, it literally does not say anything. The only hardware you see is going to be the lobster clasp as well as the D-rings on the side of the bag. Interior and how you open and close the bag will be these built-in magnets, which you know I love built-in magnets, so point there. And I was looking around to see where the bag was made, and no indication at all. I had a flashlight in here. I was trying to look at like the corners and see where this bag could possibly be made. No idea. It's not unusual for a lot of these smaller brands to not include that, even though I think, is it a law here in the States? I have no idea. Now the website does give you all of the measurements and I double checked on it. This is not something I do all the time. However, I have gotten a couple comments from you all on other brands I've reviewed where you're like, oh, can you post the dimensions for me? Because I was like, why would I do that? You can just see it on the website, right? They have told me that the measurements on the website might not always be correct. And I see a point there. So in future, any bags I review, I'll try to remember to include all of the measurements for you so that there's some verifications, regardless of smaller brands or bigger brands. So I did it for this one because you know what? The measurements are wrong. Is it the biggest deal? No, it's not. But if you really care about the measurements down to the inch or half an inch, I get it. Strap, they said, is 42 inches. Yes, it is 42 inches. The strap width is 0.79, correct. The dimensions is actually like an inch off on every side. And they also said that the bag weighs 9 ounces. It's actually 8 ounces. Is it the biggest deal? No. And I love how it is a very lightweight bag considering that it is a full leather bag. And it also didn't come with a dust bag. Let's move on to the pros and cons. We'll start with the pros because I want to be a little bit positive. I think the price point is nice. Is it the best? No. I think for the construction of what it is, it's fine. $189. It is considered very accessible for real leather for a bag that is, you know, quote unquote, made by a celebrity, right? It is very lightweight and it smells like leather. When you open up a bag and it smells like leather, it's another check, bonus points. There's plenty of pieces out there where they say it's real leather and it does not smell like leather. Like this one. Does not smell like a leather at all. At least it did not smell like chemicals or something extremely toxic. He's got his Pegasus or Pegai logo right there, and I think it is incredibly adorable, very unique. He's not plastering his name or his Pegai name all over the bag, which I love. Very inconspicuous. And I did mention that the built-in magnets is always a plus for me because I feel like that is just much more seamless, very easy to open and close. When you have actual metal pieces as magnets, it is sometimes a little hard to play target practice if the magnets aren't lined up correctly or perhaps they're not very strong. And I do like the interior leather where it is much softer than the leather outside. Let's talk a little bit about the cons. The strap is not adjustable, which is very similar to the Hermes Evelyn TPM where the strap here is also not adjustable. And I know that is a pet peeve for a lot of people as well, even when they purchase the Hermes Evelyn. In my opinion, the stitching is not fantastic. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I've seen a lot of bags around this particular price point where they have fantastic stitching. Not a whole lot of information on here on their website saying, hey, is this hand stitched? Is this done by a machine? I have no idea, but I can see how inconsistent the stitching is, which is fine. At the end of the day, nobody's really going to see that, but it doesn't scream quality to me. First thing I noticed is actually on the interior where their tabs, how they sew on the D-rings. You see how crooked that is? Is it the biggest deal? Like I said, no, it's on the interior, but those are all of the details where I feel for him to be a little critical about the stitching of other products, whether it is a luxury product of $5,000 or if it's a $200 bag. I would expect that your products that you produce have at least some sort of quality control or care being looked into this, but that is hella crooked. Another con of mine is the leather. I feel the leather on the inside is way better than what is on the outside. And you can see this is the type of smooth skin that is going to scratch up incredibly easy. I haven't used this bag and I'll tell you why at the end of the video. But without me using this bag, I can see that there's like kind of a crack right here already. And there's some blemishes in the front, which I know he said unapologetically imperfect. Completely understand you want to be a leather lover and appreciate the true feeling of leather and not having it being super processed. that's the vibe you want to go for, I understand. But for me as a consumer, I do want my bag to not look super scratched up, because I feel like it doesn't look good if it's incredibly scratched up after 1 or 2 uses. There's also a line right there, as you can see. That is not something I prefer. And then you can also see that the logo, which I think is adorable, it could be a little bit thicker here so that you don't see the shape of the magnets on the front, especially on the front of the bag. And on the back, it's the same thing. Like I said, I have not used this bag whatsoever. It's just been sitting in a corner waiting, film me, talk about me. But the quality of the hardware is pretty terrible, because I can see chips and nicks on the hardware already. And this hardware is incredibly low quality. Some of it is chipping on the lobster claw and on the D-ring, and some of it is fading. So the highest quality of this, not at all. Now, doing a side-by-side comparison with the Hermes TPM, yes, I understand 100% that these are nowhere close to the same price point. This is 92% less than the Hermes TPM. But this is what it's trying to do, correct? So I think it's only fair to do a side-by-side comparison. Now you can see this is going to be Clement's leather, incredibly soft, incredibly malleable, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you like. Now you can see the stitching obviously on the TPM is going to be incredible, flawless. Their quality control is impeccable, and that's why we love Hermes, right? Looking at the hardware, you can see the night and day difference, where this is a rich gold color, and this just looks like I bought this off of Etsy or Temu. And of course, the attention to detail that Hermes has produced with their engraving, no, I don't expect his product to have the same level of detail. That would be insane and outrageous for me to demand. Now the interior, Mandy does have a insert for it. The interior is going to be raw suede. They use the same piece of leather on the interior, and you can see the enclosure is a button enclosure, which I think he has a leg up on the design of his version of it, where it's the built-in magnets. In my opinion, he did a good job with enhancing the design by using interior or built-in magnets, where it's actually much more secure. Instead of just one little strap that might have things fall out, when you have a built-in magnet, you can cinch it up a little bit more and have more security with your bag. Whereas this one, I think that's also a big complaint of most people, where they don't wear this out to places that they don't know or crowded spaces, because you can easily put your hand in here and, grab your stuff from it. So he did a good job when it comes to that portion of the design. And one thing I will point out is I also noticed a con, how sharp the edges and how rigid the edges are. And the glazing is okay, it's not great. He did an okay job. Well, his products or his artisans did an okay job. You can see it's not lined up correctly. Now, obviously, Hermes is going to be much more seamless and beautifully made. Whereas this bag, going back to my original point here, is that this is incredibly sharp. So if you are bustier or if you are curvier, this, as you're walking around, will dig into you and it will not be comfortable. So this portion, I find that it is a huge issue, where it's gonna start poking you and you might get a bruise. That's how hard it is. I don't know if this is gonna soften over time if you keep wearing it, but I don't see that happening, because this is an incredibly structured bag, especially the piping. Whereas this one, you can see how, okay, Mandy, don't wash this. I'm not abusing your bag. But you can see how malleable this is, right? The last comparison I want to do is going to be the size. Now, the Hermes one is going to be a little bit smaller in terms of the profile, the height, and the width. However, you could probably fit more things in this one as opposed to the Pegai, just because it is a very rigid bag. Yes, you can fit a lot of your essentials, but this one's more malleable, so you could probably stuff it to the brim, which Mandy's hearing this and she is breaking her heart because she would never want to stretch this one out, as most people probably wouldn't want to stretch it out. So, you know, just some thoughts there. One more comparison I want to do is with Dress Up Your Purse, because I feel like they're much more in the same level, in the same kind of philosophy, where she does a lot of dupes, but she takes the big luxury and mostly from Louis Vuitton. She has a couple of Hermes pieces dupe-wise and improve their designs. I would say Dress Up Your Purse has taken that business model in terms of the design and duping those particular Louis Vuitton designs and enhancing it, making it better. Now, I know Dress Up Your Purse, these pieces are made in China, which actually she doesn't have where it's made in the bag either. So true to what I was saying, a lot of these smaller companies don't really state where they are making these bags, but I'm pretty sure it's made in China. This one is the East-West version of the Pochette Matisse dupe, and it doesn't smell like leather. So leather, Tanner Leatherstein has a leg up on using fantastic leather quality. However, you can see how complex the construction of the bag is compared to his. And hers only costs about $289. I think she had a price increase because of changing the different qualities and hardware for her new versions. But talking about the old and first original version that she released, this was at $289. And with the 15% discount, if you ever bought from her and used my discount, if you want to use it, definitely take advantage of that. You do get 15% off, and it comes down to $245-ish for a difference, because you do get 10% off your first purchase with him. For a difference of $75-ish, this is a way more complex bag in my opinion. You've got the hardware right here. You've got a canvas strap, as well as, I gotta find the leather strap, but it comes with two different straps. The interior has multiple compartments, and then it comes with so much more hardware in the front. It's got a zipper, it's got nice D-rings, and she also goes into the details where she has the pull tab engraved. It's just on another level, and she's got this process down to a T, where even for the Picotin dupe, she's got extra hardware and kind of just improved, because that's probably one of the reasons why I don't use my Picotin that much, is it doesn't come with a crossbody strap. It's just a handheld carry, and she designed and upgraded the bag itself, the Picotin, to have a crossbody strap. And I love watching Melissa Adams Wade. She talks about her Picotin dupe, I think it's called the Josie bag, and how she loves it so much. She uses it all the time. And hers also comes with feet at the bottom, right? Now, going back to what I have here, not sure what I did with the box, but just to give you an example, when you buy pieces from Melody, you do get a box and a dust bag. And for this particular petite one, it comes with a chain strap and a leather crossbody strap. And I think this one is actually the same price as the Evelyn dupe right here. So you see the difference in terms of what you get between and the luxurious, quote unquote, luxury alternative experience. She really has taken off, and I'm really happy for Melody and Dress Up Your Purse. Melody Cecile, she just took that dupe, quote unquote, culture or business model and just ran with it, like hella sprinted. All right, I've done enough blabbing here, and I'm dying because I'm wearing this cashmere sweater and my boyfriend's got the heater cranking to the max. I'm sweating. Maybe I shouldn't have worn a cashmere sweater. Anyways, closing thoughts. For someone who is extremely critical and reviews bags, he does a lot of R&D and has produced phenomenal videos, educated all of us on what is real quality leather, what is basically a waste of your money. I appreciate it. He's producing great content. You would think that with so much, quote unquote, he calls it R&D, and spent tens of thousands of dollars. He actually made a video, which I thought was pretty interesting, how he spent so much money on R&D, ripping up bags. You would think that he would implement what he learned to his own business. Now, unless he's doing like a complete overhaul of his website and business. I know he just moved to Spain to invest and improve his production and working with a particular artisan or a family of artisans. I'm not sure. But as of today, I would say this is not a brand I would spend money on because of his quality, the website, and just the consumer experience. It's not there. And of course, the styles and designs, the colors of his leather, it's just not very appealing to me. I feel like it's very outdated. And I am not completely against the dupe culture, where if you know, companies like Dress Up Your Purse and other companies out there, if they can take a classic design and enhance it, then yeah, I would totally spend money on, you know, and supporting a small mom and pop shop. And if you've been with me for a while, you know I love indie brands. I built my entire channel on it. I want to support the mom and pop shops if I can, as opposed to the big luxury, unless it's Hermes. That Hermes has me on a chokehold for whatever reason. Now I have an entire playlist of mid-range indie bag brands, and if you're new to my channel, I hope this was entertaining. Let's just have a discussion on it and go check out that playlist. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. Love for you to join the community, have honest conversations about honestly just frivolous things that we're spending money on, which is totally not important, but it's just, you know, this is my escape. We talk about handbags as escape. I talk about money. I talk about wealth management. I talk about just boring stuff all day. And this is fun for me, right? Now, I hope to see improvements in the near future with him as he's going through this, quote, maybe revamp. I think it's a revamp. But as of right now, as a shark from Shark Tank would say, I'm rooting for you. I wish you the best of luck, but I am out. So you stuck with me till the end. Hence, I am actually doing a giveaway. I honestly have no desire to wear this bag. This $189 spent on this bag is my R&D, and hopefully it was educational for you and informative. And I'm gonna give this back to you all. Now, I'm not gonna rip this bag apart and let this bag go to waste. Hopefully one of you will enjoy beautiful leather, the smell of leather. And as any giveaway, I always try to keep it as simple as possible because we don't have time to play games, right? Drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this particular bag. And then of course, if you have an opportunity, go check out his website. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Just, you know, tell me something and say enter giveaway. Make sure you say enter giveaway. Follow me on Instagram, Somehow Adulting, as I do post a curated list of handbag deals I see on a regular basis, but basically that's it. Comment down below, enter giveaway, and follow me on Instagram. And the winner will be drawn in 1 week. Rules and regulations, rules, whatever, will be down in the description box. I will post on my community tab. You have to subscribe to see that community tab. And I will also post in my stories of the Instagram winner in my IG of Instagram winner. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm like so freaking hot right now. But just check out the rules down below. Shipping will be on me, and I am only able to limit this to my US viewers just because shipping overseas can be a nightmare and scary. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see y'all next time.